welcome to Getting Gamers, your guide to understanding the gamers in your life. I am your host, Juke, and I am the type of person that has a lot of vocal stims. If you don't know what vocal stims are, they're just like little noise, often associated to like emotional regulation. That could be like positive or negative emotions, all sorts of emotions, just when you like are feeling a big rush. Not even necessarily a rush, but just sometimes you feel certain emotions and they trigger vocal stims, and sometimes they're also kind of like to fill the void. I just make a lot of sounds in general. I am a person that I speak in sound effects most of the time. I come from a family of people who speak in sound effects, especially on my Italian side, but on both sides, honestly. The stapler becomes the chaka-chak, and your flasher at the car becomes the tick-a-tick. So, yeah, I'm a noisy person who speaks and has a lot of sound effects. And that happens a lot when I'm gaming, because gaming, like, it's not casual for me. I just get so, like, amped up and I'm like, and so I'm just a noisy person. And I know for a lot of people, me making these sounds is distracting and it breaks their focus and stuff like that. Even at work, every time there's a new coworker or a new person in the team, you see that there's like this adjustment period where they have to get used to my sound effects, because I am a manual laborer. I'm a landscaper, hardscaper, whatever you want to call it. And so, yeah, like when I'm shoveling or I'm trying to like do something that's difficult, I'm going to go like, hiya, or like, ee, when things, I just make a lot of sounds and people have to get used to that when they're around me, like new people. So this segues perfectly into Discord, because it's part of one of the issues I had and the anxieties I had about Discord. But let's just talk about Discord in general, because Discord is, for some beginners, and some beginners being me, it can be intimidating. So let me try to break down and explain in layman's terms what Discord is. So Discord's a platform where you can chat and do video calls and normal calls. It's not all that different from a Skype or a Zoom or Teams or even Messenger nowadays. However, in Discord, you can just communicate directly to your friends, or you can join different servers or make your own server. And the server is kind of like a group chat that can be more organized. And you can have like fun add-ons. And I won't really be getting into the extra add-ons of Discord, like soundboards and bots. I'll let you discover those along the way. But if you really want a deeper dive into it, let me know, and we can invite some gamers on to explain it, because I'm not well versed on all of that. So in trying to figure out how to describe Discord in a way that someone who's never used that type of platform could understand, at first I was kind of trying to describe it like a big organized group chat, right? It's like a big group chat with subchats and channels for video calls and audio calls. But I realized that, like, for someone who's really never used that type of platform, that's just not giving a proper image. I just don't think that's helpful for someone who's never heard of it. So hear me out. Imagine Discord like a city. Like Discord, the app, imagine it is a city. And the different servers are houses and businesses in that city, because some companies will have like their own Discord servers, and then some individuals will have their own Discord servers. So Discord is a city. The servers are houses and businesses. So you can get invited into a server, much like a house, or you can make your own, and you can invite people inside. Now, the server being a house, in that house, there are different rooms. And you have access to those different rooms unless the owner of the house has set restrictions. So those rooms are what I mean when I say subchats. Every time you're in a house, you're in a specific room. Whether you're in the entrance, the living room, the dining room, you're in a room in the house. Some rooms are just chats. Like in one of my servers, there's like a general chat, and then separately, we have a different room with another chat that's specifically for a game we play. So any conversations that's like in game or about that game or codes we have to share for that game are going to be in that chat. And in one of my old servers, we had another room or a separate chat called shit posting, and it was just for like memes and just like that ridiculous nonsense stuff that we like sending each other, but that just clutters a chat, and that like makes you lose parts of conversations because we're cluttering it with shit, like with memes. So we would just have a separate category, a separate room for that to like keep it all organized and be able to like better find what we need to find. And then some rooms in the house, the server, are voice channels or video. Like you can share your screen, you can share your webcam in those channels. When it comes to the voice channels, there can be many of them, just like many rooms. But I feel like a lot of people, when it comes to Discord and gaming, and when you're not in that world, sometimes you wonder why they need to be on a voice channel all the time. Like, why do they need to be on a call and talking directly to their friends while they're playing? And I mean, we could go in depth. I mean, we won't have the time in this episode, but there's a lot of games that like it's necessary, or at least really, really helpful to just be able to communicate directly with your friends. Just imagine a board game where it's a team effort and not being able to communicate with your friends. It's difficult. But if people wanted to dive deeper, I think there could be like a nice, cool roundtable discussion about like the need to discuss, like, well, the need to be directly talking to each other in game, and what interesting challenges it could bring to not have access to that. I don't know. Food for thought. I'll think about it. So, for many beginners, being introduced to gaming by someone often means joining a server that their friend or partner or whatever is already in. And yeah, it can be intimidating. Joining a group that has like its pre-existing dynamics, it's just in general something that can be stressful. And then if you add on to that the fact that you're joining this group to do an activity that you know you're bad at and everyone else does for fun. So it's like two little stressful things. It's like being the only one that's going to be bad at something, or one of the few that's going to be bad at something with a new group, and then just entering a group that has like pre-existing dynamics. Two stressful things, in my opinion anyways. So, of course, intimidating. But listen, if you're a beginner, I'm telling you, it's worth it. You have to trust that the gamer introducing you to all of this is bringing you into a group that are beginner friendly. Your gamer won't just throw you into a group that is about like very serious playing and like, you know, get mad for people who make mistakes. Like they won't do that. And they'll bring you into a group that is there to have fun. Gamers, you hear me, right? Make sure you think about which friends are good to play with beginners and which friends are, you know, like not gonna be the ones to bring your beginners to. You all know that like you have friends like that are just gonna ruin the experience for the beginner. Be smart about who you introduce your beginners to. But beginners, fellow noobs, there are many benefits to joining the Discord. If anything, it helps introduce you to the sense of community that gaming can bring. And I think that's something that's like often neglected. Like people who don't game forget about how much community people get from gaming. And that's like a great way to step into your gamer's world. Like if you're making that effort, it's just such a great way to just get to know the world and just really understand more the dynamics and what's really going on, why they're always talking to their computer, well, to their friends on their computer, but you know what I mean. And to be honest, I think an argument can be made that you don't truly know what gaming with your gamer is like until you've gamed with his friends. I mean, unless he plays like exclusively solo games, but typically they're gaming with people, and like that's when you get to really see what it's like to game with your partner or your gamer, you know, versus when they're just gaming one-on-one with you, because they're, you know, I don't know about you, but like I know that like when I started dating a guy, I noticed their vocabulary changes, like because I say cutesy stuff, like I use cutesy vocabulary. All of a sudden, the guy I'm dating is saying feetsies instead of feet, and I'm like, no way, this guy was saying feetsies when he was single, but now all of a sudden he's like, oh, your little feetsies. Like, so, if you're gaming just one on one with your gamer, especially if it's a partner, it's not the same as discovering what it's like with their friends. Give it a try. I'm just, think about it. Another way Discord could be helpful is, okay, let's be honest. Your gamer is sweet and patient and introducing you to gaming, but he doesn't necessarily explain things in the way that works for your brain. So if you're on Discord with some nice people, they'll have different perspectives. I mean, there's been many times where I was on Discord and playing a game with my partner or my gamer and their friends, and the other people online, like the friends, the other gamers on Discord, are giving me tips and advice, and they're helping me through something. And the way they're explaining it just really works for my brain. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think that my partner or my gamer would have had that like way of explaining, because everybody like learns differently, everybody explains differently. But also, I think there's something to say about the fact that the people on Discord that are trying to help you, they're limited by the fact that it's audio only most of the time, and that forces you to have to explain in a different way, whereas your gamer helping you next to you is going to be like pointing at the screen and like maybe helping you move the mouse or stuff like this, or clicking for you like by habit, but the people across the screen on Discord can only like describe to you with their words what to do, or with their like character on the screen, and that forces them to explain differently than they might if they were in person, and I think that's helpful too. There are probably more benefits to Discord that I'm not mentioning. It's just really worth a try. But like I said, I'll be the first to admit that it does take a little courage. Okay, so now, beginners, you're convinced. I have convinced you. You will give Discord a try. So what I really want to talk about when it comes to Discord is how much it helps create that sense of community that I was talking about earlier. So most gamers I know talk to their friends way more often than I do. The gamers that I've dated in my life game daily, if not daily, at least weekly. So speaking to your friends like daily or weekly, the same friends, that is like a good frequency of like speaking to your friends. I know some people will have like their best friend that they talk to daily, but like a group of like 5 people who speak daily, unless it's one of those big group friend chat, like words, those group chats like of friends. But even at that, you always have that ghost friend who never talks, blah, blah, blah. But then when they're gaming, they're like, let's say 5 people, logging on and talking once a day or once a week. It's a lot. I mean, I have friends I talk to once a week. I'm not trying to say that I'm like a hermit, but I don't know. These are important people if you're talking to them that frequently. And when you think about it, it's not just the frequency of them talking. It's the fact that they're basically doing team building exercises every day or once a week or however frequently they're playing. Like, think about at work, like business team building exercises. I don't know, different times. Summer camp sometimes had those exercises. And it's about like often like playing sports together and different like teamwork activities, with like a little extra challenge to it. If you think about it, that's what they're doing. They're regularly doing team building exercises with the same friends. And I don't know, like that forms a bond, whether you like it or not. And whether you think the gaming is valid or the relationship is valid because it's online, there's a bond being formed there. It's like undeniable. But really, having known and dated so many gamers, I feel like at the start, when you first get to know them, a lot of times they come across as introverts. But then living with them, you realize, no, wait, these guys are definitely way more extroverted than me. And people seem to think I'm extroverted, because there's not that many people in my life that I want to talk to every day, and I just don't feel like I have the energy for that. I think we talked about introverted and extroverted in another episode, but like the quick and easy version of it is, if you recharge your energy when you're socializing with people, then you're extroverted, and if you recharge your energy when you're alone, then you're introverted. And like, this is really, really simplified. But like for a lot of these guys that I know, like the whole daily routine of gaming and playing with their friends is their like decompression, recharging for the day. And for a lot of them, it is also a social event. It's not solo. Like many people do play a lot of solo games. I don't want to deny that. But for a lot of people, it's a social thing too. And I think some people don't realize that extroverted it's expanding now with all these different ways of being able to like communicate and socialize. I think that for me the vision of what an extrovert is has really changed ever since I've started interacting way more with gamers. So I've been talking a lot about the friendships that are formed between these people that often meet online. And even in the Reddit episode that we did recently, we had a partner of a gamer who was like denying the validity of those friendships and of those conversations that their gamer was having with the people, their friends online. And I think an argument can be made that they might have like stronger or more intense friendships than you realize. Because think about like the stereotype of like guys watching sports and yelling at the TV, right? It gaming is it's pretty much the same thing. Like it gets heated and there's arguments and people feel strong emotions. Like think about the dude yelling at the TV. He's not even playing and he's feeling those emotions. Imagine if he was playing. These arguments that they're having, that there's a lot of conflict and conflict resolution and hard conversations, and that's a muscle that people practice. And I think that like friendships that go through those ups and downs and that power through them, that like have these arguments and these heated moments and succeed at powering through them, are actually quite strong friendships, if you ask me. And obviously, like, not all gamers are yelling while gaming and like being aggressive. I don't want to paint that image of gamers. But I'm not going to deny that it gets intense. Even I have strong emotions sometimes, and I'm like, whoa, I can't believe I felt that strongly. I mean, do you ever see a calm, introverted looking gamer dude dating a loud, hot headed person? Chances are that guy has friends he has been gaming with for years that have frequent emotional outbursts. And people are wondering, oh, how can he handle such a loud, hot-headed person? His bros are like that too. He handles them daily or weekly or whatever, you know? Okay, yes, I've obviously been several times the loud, hot-headed person dating the calm-looking gamer dude. And even as the hot-headed, big reactor, I've always wondered, like, can he really handle this? He's so calm. Like, I'm so chaotic. It's gonna be crazy for him. But then I meet his friends and I meet the guys they're gaming with, and you're like, oh, okay. He handles this type of like hot-headed, big reactions all the time. It's no big deal. He has practice. He's a gamer. And speaking of Discord and relationships, I do think that Discord can bring some challenges to relationships, like out of Discord. Yes, there can be heated conversations, and the relationships within the friends online on the servers can also like go through challenges, just like any relationship can. But I think Discord in itself, with relationships out of Discord, can bring some challenges. And I think gamers, if you can be honest for a second, I think some of Discord does have a bit of a hold on you, right? I know many people that on their days that are free, let's say they don't have to get up and go to work or whatever, they enter a Discord server as soon as they wake up. And I think the mentality there is that like they just want to know when someone logs in. That way they can be available to play when someone's there, and then they'll do the rest of their tasks or whatever around that. And that doesn't necessarily always happen. I think some people can benefit from having a bit more structure around that, of not making yourself available on Discord until you're actually available to game, like you've done all the things you need to do with your day. And knowing that someone logging onto Discord, if you see that happen, it will maybe distract you, and you might end up, you don't know how long, because sometimes you're like, oh, I'll wait for someone to log on, play a game, and then I'll go back to my chores. But then halfway through your game, two other people log on, they want to play a game after that, and then you're hours in. And I think that does impact people's lives. It does impact like a household and relationships sometimes. So the gamers that I have met in my life, I think they find most success in their overall life when they do create that structure. For example, telling yourself that you log on once you did a certain number of tasks or chores, or like scheduling your gaming in advance, which many people do. They schedule in advance. Hey, tomorrow at 6, are you free? I want to game. I think it's important to acknowledge that it's a totally normal part of the human experience to have a hard time controlling ourselves while doing our favorite hobbies. And it's also an important part of growth and growing up, um, to learn to pace ourselves with these hobbies and learn to prioritize. So, scheduling time to play with your friends is not foreign to most gamers. I think maybe some people might have FOMO, like that fear of missing out, that if they don't log on, they're going to miss some gaming with some cool people and, then they'll hear about it and blah, blah, blah. But I think a complaint that we hear a lot about gaming from like non-gamers and people in relationships or living with gamers is issues having to do with contribution to the household. And scheduling forces you to be honest with yourself of how much time you actually have in your day to allocate to gaming. If you aren't ready necessarily to take that step to like scheduling things directly with people, you're nervous or whatever, other great ways would be to like write directly in the chat, hey, I won't be able to log on before this time. Is anyone planning on being online at that time, etc. But I think in general, when it comes to structure, setting yourself goals of things you want to achieve before you start gaming, and being realistic about your contributions to your household are going to make a big difference versus just logging on to Discord as soon as your day starts and just letting things happen on their own. When I think about managing household relationships and Discord, I think about a particular friend. So I talked about Among Us and the group that I play with in a previous episode. So one of the friends in that group, and everyone, if anyone in that group is listening to this podcast, they will know who I'm talking about because he's the only one who does this. And it's the sweetest thing. He will like eventually in the night, because we end up playing up later at night, we'll say, be right back, guys. I'm going to go tuck my girlfriend into bed. It is the sweetest thing. And every time I'm like, wow, like it's such a simple thing. Because if you think about it, gamers, if you can tell your buddies, be right back, I gotta go take a shit, and they wait for you, which from my experience, they seem to wait. It's super normal, right? Everybody understands you gotta go to the washroom, BRB, we're gonna wait to start the game or whatever. Then they can wait when you say, be right back, I gotta tuck my girlfriend in to bed. Or sometimes he says, be right back, I'm gonna go draw my girlfriend a bath. It takes a few minutes to draw your girlfriend a bath. Everybody can go grab a snack, go smoke, whatever. There's always a natural break. But like, he's taking the time to say, be right back, I'm gonna go take care of my partner. If your friends can wait for you to go take a dump, if your friends can wait for you to go smoke your cigarette, they can wait for you to prioritize your relationship. Like, think about it, other gamers, if you're thinking about like not wanting to be patient about these things, your buddy, if he's depressed because he got dumped, he's not going to be playing good. His like relationship health contributes to him being a better player. The happier he is, the better he will play. That's just in general, like any sports, when it comes to esports or other sports, like your mental health will affect your game. So there's no reason for your buddies to be like annoyed or impatient about that. And okay, maybe sometimes like this does not happen in my group, but other groups, like I'm a manual laborer. I know that some guys are going to make comments about being whipped or whatever. Who cares? There's so many comebacks to a guy telling you you're whipped. Just take care of your relationships. It will make a world of a difference. And in my group, no one complains. I don't think I've ever heard anyone even sigh or puff at the idea that we had to wait for him. Again, we've waited for guys to go smoke a cigarette. We are very happy to wait. I think in general, most of us just have respect for the maturity that he has of taking care of his relationship. And I just think it's inspiring, honestly. So I think a lot of these tensions between gamers and non-gamers can be resolved by like simple little actions, good communication, and just like, figuring out what your priorities really are. Because if your relationship is not the priority, and you realize that like gaming is more important to you than your relationship, then that is valid data about your relationship that you have to acknowledge. Now, another interesting phenomenon that happens with Discord, and this is the last thing, then the episode will be over because I think we've gone on enough, is the fact that you meet people through their voice first. And this for me was a really interesting experience because I've never been someone who like Facebook stalks people or like, social media deep dives into people. I've had situations where people I've dated kind of find it weird that I didn't deep dive into their online life. I just don't have the time for that. And I just, it doesn't give me the image that I need. So if I'm not doing it for relationships and friendships, I'm not doing it for people that I met online and that I'm gaming with. Like, it's just, it's not my thing. Even though I know it's really common, it's just not my thing. And so these people that I was gaming with, I was added to the Discord, which often on Discord people have like fun, different like profile pictures. It's very rarely a picture of the person. I don't think I know any of my friends that their profile picture on Discord is themselves. And then on Messenger, we had a group chat, but the pictures in the group chat are so teeny tiny and we have all a bunch of silly nicknames. It's not the same name. It's either their real name or a silly nickname that we put, but it's not their gamer tag, whereas on Discord, it's their gamer tag. So, so there was just no pictures for me to associate to people's voices and gamer tags. And I just didn't put the effort. So eventually along the way, sometimes people would send a picture of someone at work or I would get a recommendation of someone to add on social media and realize, wait, that's that person? And I think it happened like 3-4 times with just my group on Among Us of the people that I hadn't met yet to be like, that's what they look like? What? And it was never what I imagined. I don't know. It was the first time that happened to me where I just met someone through voice only and not realize what they look like and then realize what they look like and then meet them in person. Some of them I haven't met in person yet. And I don't know. It's fun. I know that like online friendships is not new anymore and this is common to people to like meet online and then meet in person and stuff like that. But I think most people put more effort to finding out what people look like. And because I didn't and I got to like know, like for months I was talking to these people once or twice a week. For months I didn't think about going to see what they looked like. And I don't know. I thought it was so fun. It was a cool thing of realizing how my brain fills the blanks and then comparing that to reality. I had fun with it. So in the end, it took me years to get comfortable being on Discord with people, and I think it took me years and the right group and practice. But now I like it. I wish I had a server of my own. Should Getting Gamers get a Discord? Oh my God. The thing is, I don't know like what I would really do with that. Because I know that a lot of podcasts and different like content creators have Discord channels. But then if I make a Discord channel, does that mean that I'm necessarily like, does that mean I'm engaging myself to game with people? Because I don't game all that much, and the more I work on the podcast, the less time I have to game. I don't know. And even Among Us, we haven't been gaming, like we haven't played in a while now. Let me know if you guys are interested in creating a Getting Gamers Discord server. I am open to gaming sometimes with people. I just don't want to engage myself to gaming regularly because I can't commit to that right now. And if you are in Discord servers for like different content creators or different podcasts or whatever, how does that work? What am I supposed to like? Is it just there so that we can all talk, or am I supposed to do something interesting with it? I guess I have to really deep dive into that. I need to make money so I can hire people. This is too much work. Okay, so let me know. Write to us on social media, gettinggamers.com, @gettinggamers, etc., etc. Oh my God, I forgot. I want to plug someone. Yes, in the meantime, while we are waiting to get sponsors, let me plug someone in my life. So today I'm plugging Mivania. She is a fitness trainer, fitness coach in Montreal. She is so good. I have been following her fitness journey online for a long, long time. And now she has adventured herself into personal training. And I know so many people who actually go see her, like all stages of life. If you're a beginner or you're trying to get back into going to the gym, if you're, early 20s or in your 60s, it doesn't matter. She takes everyone. She's so positive and she just shines bright. I love her energy. And she's a great coach. Like, I know people who go to her consistently. So before I forget, I want to make sure I don't forget the social medias and the website. So the website is mivaniahenry.com. So I'm going to spell it MivaniaHenry.com. It's obviously going to be in the description as always. And her Instagram is Miva Moves. So MIVAMOVES. Miva Moves on Instagram. Go check her out. Go send her some love. Follow her. Like her posts and all that jazz to help boost the algorithms. And if you're in the Montreal area and you want training, definitely check her website. Schedule a training with her. It's worth it. I think you'll find that she's a really great coach. So I think that's all for today. So tune in 2 weeks on Tuesday. And GG. Our podcast art was made by the wonderful Ariel, who can be found on Instagram at ProfitOpossum, and our intro and outro music was made by David Theslian from TheslianStudios.com.
Job's done.